bruh, bruh, bruh.
It's rubbish attempt at creating effectual acronym Tuesday.
Well, hey there, everybody. It is time for me to review a game that's been in my library a long time. And not only has been in my library a long time, but has been unplayable to me for a long time. We'll get into it, don't worry. But this is Fallout 3, released in 2008 by Bethesda, 2009 for the PC version, which is what the Steam version is based off of. And we'll get into everything that means pretty darn soon, so don't you worry. But right off the bat, this is a Bethesda game. And you know what Bethesda games are if you've played Bethesda games ever. Like that one series you're thinking of, or that other series you're thinking of. Yeah, pretty good stuff, right? The fun thing is, it doesn't even matter which series you thought of, because Bethesda, they make good things that gamers like, generally speaking. Anyway, but chances are you already know what this game has to offer, and you probably already played all the way through it, but not me, not I, because reasons. Oh, also, quick thing, if you're wondering what happened to my Morrowind playthrough, I got bored, got legitimately bored, and we'll talk about why, and it ties into a review of this game, trust. Anyway, Fallout 3 was released at the height of the Xbox 360/PS3 era, and it crushed on those consoles. People loved this game. It was Game of the Year, won a lot of awards, all the things that you would expect. And it was also released on Windows and had compatibility issues right out the box, especially for me, for some reason. I bought this game on Steam several years ago, and I have played about a third of the way through it twice. Once in like 2014 when I first reactivated my Steam account, got it back from the Russians, and the game crashed about a third of the way through. And I was like, oh my god, because a third of the way through on a game like this, a big open world game, it's really disheartening, because you're like, oh, I was finally starting to get places and get a hang of the world and all the things, and then it just crashes and refuses to work. It would be one thing if it didn't launch at all. That would be better. Like, Typing of the Dead, can't even get it to run. All of that hype, all of that time, I cannot get that game to run. And I've tried all the fixes that everybody is saying, do this in the Steam community, and still no dice. It's just not working for me, and it makes me sad. Anyway, I might have to throw the game on an older computer just to get it to be able to play, which is not ideal. But anyway, so yeah, I hate it when you buy games on Steam and they are like former AAA titles, and the developer is just like, what are you gonna do? It worked on gaming computers in Windows Vista, It's like, yeah, but even trying to run things in compatibility mode for Vista, it's a dicey proposition, and it never works for me. And so, yeah, this game just has not worked out for me. So it didn't run in like 2014 when I got my Steam account back, and I tried it again in 2021 when they posted the first and only update for this game in a bajillion years, and it again did not work for me. Everybody was like, oh, finally the game works, and yeah, it did not work for me. I got about a third of the way through and then it died, and same deal as before. But earlier this year it was patched for possibly a final time, who knows. Does not receive patches very often, but it received a patch that made it playable on Windows 10. And that's all I've been waiting for ever since I purchased this game almost a decade ago. Pretty much a decade ago. So yeah, I've been waiting on this one. And I know a lot of people tell me like, oh, just skip this one. Go straight to New Vegas. That's the real great game in the series, yada, yada, yada. I get it. I hear you. Don't think I don't hear you. But I'm also a guy who likes to play all the way through a series if I can. I lost a lot of progress in my Windows 7. Jeez. In my Final Fantasy 7 playthrough, and I am considering like starting over because that's how much time I lost there, or how much like yeah, because when you go messing around with controller input save states in like RetroArch, it is so easy to accidentally overwrite your own progress, and I overwrote my progress with the game in a glitch state, and then I was like, no problem, I'll just load my other one, and then I did it again. And so like I just destroyed my backups. I have no backups. It's all gone. My backup I like save stated over like a smart guy. Anyway, so it might be a minute before I get back into Final Fantasy VII, but I was really enjoying it. In the meantime, I am playing this, and it is working, and it's working pretty darn well, actually, better than it ever has. And so, yeah, I get it. I hear you, those of you who are like, just skip Fallout 3, you know, except for there are some iconic things in Fallout 3. There are, you know, I had students doing monologues from this game in my drama classes back in the day. Yeah, that is true. And just there's a lot of cool things that happen in this game that I didn't want to just abandon and leave on the wayside, because, you know, sure, I bet my mind is going to be blown by New Vegas. I bet I'm going to have a really good time playing Fallout 4. I own these games. I haven't played them yet. I'm going to play this one first because I already played Fallout 1 and 2. Yes, the old isometric ones, where like the first one, at least, I don't remember if it's true in the second one. I played both games with a guide, because if you don't, that vault door locks after a certain point and you're just locked out, and then, you know, game over. Even though you may do all of the things that you're supposed to do mission-wise, if you don't do it quickly enough, well, the vault door closed, and too bad, so sad, you're stuck in the wasteland forever. Anyway, so yeah, I played those two games, and it wasn't easy, so it, you know, why am I going to skip a game in the series? Just because it's incompatible, wildly incompatible? Yeah, not the way I approach things. And especially because so many cool things happen early on in this game. I mean, first of all, you grow up in the vault, and they actually play through your character growing up. And yeah, growing up, getting, you know, celebrating birthdays, getting your Pip-Boy 3000, which will come up again because it's one of the coolest innovations in the game. And yeah, the idea that like, oh, nobody enters this vault, nobody ever leaves. Oh, cool, so I'm going to spend the entire game in this vault? Nope. Like, you get out, and where do you go immediately after that? You go to the city, well, the town of Megaton, and you meet people who worship an unexploded atomic bomb, which is right in the heart of town. And yeah, it's so cool. It's such a great, well-written post-apocalyptic world. And, you know, we love well-written post-apocalyptic worlds, so I can't just leave it. And so, yeah, I waited until it was actually playable in Windows 10, which it apparently is now. Thank goodness, because Windows 11 is going to be forced upon all of us soon, and we're all going to hate it. And I'm guessing this game will become unplayable again. Anyway, but this game is a vital piece of gaming history as far as I'm concerned. You know, this is the era in which developers, especially Bethesda, were figuring out how to do open world gaming with lots of side questing, and choosing your own way and having your choices matter. Yeah, I accidentally got the mayor killed in this playthrough. I'm just rolling with it. You know, didn't happen the last time that I played it, but this time I made some choices. I decided, you know, the type of character build that I'm going to play. And yeah, so it got me into trouble. Well, it got the mayor into trouble. He's like, I got to sort this guy out, then he gets shot. So yeah, it's an interesting thing. Your choices matter, and that you have this big old open world. And the thing is that, like, yes, open world games existed before this, and I'm not even saying that this is the first one. I'm just saying this is from that time where developers were like, okay, how do you build open world but not have it be like tedious in the exploration? Have it seem like there's a point to it all, that there are things to do that you can choose and then do however you want to do. That's a major advancement in gaming, because think about how many great games that have been released in recent years that are those, large open world variety where you get to make lots of choices and kind of do what you want, and you can go off side questing for forever and then be like, oh, that's right, main campaign, I guess I better go talk to the Greybeards or whatever. I have done playthroughs like that where it's like, I just get insanely beefed up and then I'm like, oh, that's right, I guess I should start the main quest. Anyway, yeah, thanks Fallout 3 era. Not the only game, but certainly, up there among the games which figured out how to do all of the things, wayfinding, quest mapping, and, making choices and you deciding where to go and what to do, but also having a guide to get you there without you getting totally lost right off the bat. It's kind of awesome how they figured that out. And the thing that does it is your trusty rusty Pip-Boy 3000, which is a thing that you wear on your wrist, Commander Keen-like, and you get it on your 10th birthday in the vault, because you really do experience growing up in the vault, which is awesome. And with this device, you can easily track side quests and the main quest. You have compass-based directions in your heads-up display, and it makes everything so easy and so nice. Back in the day, open world games were like, just figure it out, but just figure it out for most people turned into find a guide, either buy the official one or look one up online, pretty much is what it meant. And having the ability to, like, I just love games where it's like big, vast, go do stuff, find your way in this world, but also like, here's how you don't get lost. Here's how you don't lose the plot of the game and don't, get so bogged in side quests that you forget to do the main one. And the Pip-Boy is a perfect tool for exactly that. And I love that is part of the game. And I'm telling you, like, the reason I stopped playing Morrowind is because I was just bored. Because, I mean, granted, it is more boring than the games that came after it, but also, like, it's so easy to lose the plot in that game and to, like, get yourself lost and be like, wait, where am I? What was I doing? What's the main storyline? Not here. And this is such a beautiful, incredible open world where, the characters are really well done and the dialogue choices are interesting and your choices really matter, and you get to really track things as they go through the world, and it's fun to do so. The thing that is an absolute annoyance in other games is a joy and a delight in this one. And everything about this game is exactly right. The vibe, the feel, a lot of things that you think come from, your precious Fallout 4s, actually show up in this game first. And this was the first, like, proper 3D Fallout game, and it got so many things right. And so I can't ignore it, and I'm so excited to be playing it. Finally. Anyway, final score for this one, I give it an 8 out of a possible 10 Pip-Boy 3000s, because the indispensable tool that makes this game worth playing, and that becomes a vital part of other games in the series, because it helps you with the whole, like, welcome to the open world, here's how you get around. Anyway, people, love this game. It's really cool. And yeah, sometimes I gotta choose these small little indie games, help the small guys out, Bethesda, who's even heard of them. Anyway, people, yeah, that's right. Dan gave me some guff for that recently, and I thought it was pretty funny. Anyway, all right, people, thank you for being here for this one. I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye.